Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna tell you a little story about something that happened back in shit 1990 1993. Now it's gonna kind of be a little bit long because I have to tell one story to get to the other story for you to understand what all happened. Some people might get upset about the story or feel offended by it, but it's I was there. It's my story. I'm gonna fucking tell it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna put no names or nothing out there, but back in when I got out in '92, a lot of shit was going down over in the harbor. And a lot of people remember the times where we were going at it with the blacks. This is during that time. It was nobody was supposed to be fucking around no more, and we were supposed to go after. We were supposed to be, dealing with the blacks. As far as the Crips and the Bloods and shit. But you know, some of us were doing other things. Anyways, I was being taken home one day. Some these girls, one girl I was seeing, and the other two girls were friends of mine. I was friends with all of them, but I was seeing one of them, and so they were taking me home, and I can't remember exactly where we were at the time when everything happened, but we were coming from Torrance, and I had left that chick's house. We were at that chick's house, and next to the couch where the love seat I was sitting at, there was a little coffee table, and I seen a little box under the coffee table, so I pulled it out, and it was a gun. It was a gun. It was a box that had, it was a gun box. The box that the guns come in when you first buy them. It has the foam in it, the guns in there, two magazines, and whatever you need to clean the gun. Stuff was in this box. It was a 22 um, automatic. I think it was like a 10 shot automatic. So I was looking at it. I told her, I said, "Hey, let me take this gun. Who it belong to?" And she's like, "That's my mom's gun." I said, "Well, let me take it. Because I ain't got nothing right now." And she's like, "No, I can't let you take it. It's my mom's gun. She's in the fucking, because the mom had a bunch of guns in the house, but she's like, my mom will notice that the gun's gone." So I told her, with everything that's going on right now, I ain't got no strap on me, so you should just let me take it. You know what I mean? And she was like, "All right, fuck it, go ahead and take it." So the girl whose car we were in, she didn't like me having guns in her car, so I didn't tell her I had the gun. So what I did, I told her, I told them, I said, "Take me back home. I want to go home." So we got in the car, but I stuffed the box. The box is probably like about this big. I stuffed it down right here on my waistband, and I got in the car and I'm sitting there, and the magazines already had rounds in them, so the gun was loaded, and we're driving back to my house, and we happened to run into some dudes that were from my enemy's neighborhood. Now this neighborhood is like, like I said before, most of these guys are my family members. These guys were not, but I knew these guys. I knew who they were. You know what I mean? And so they see me, and like they're passing by. We're passing by each other, and they see me in the passenger seat of the car. And I turned and I looked, and they made a U-turn, and they were in like I think it was like a K5 Blazer, and I remember having one of those. Big bumper guards in the front. Fucking fly. Big bumper guards in the front. So they get behind us, and this is probably like 4 in the afternoon. So there's a lot of traffic on the streets. We're on the streets, and I tell the chick like, "Hey, take off." You know what I mean? Take off because they're coming up fast behind us. I say, "Take off," and she's getting all paranoid and shit. I wanted them to give me to my house so I can get out. You know what I mean? I didn't want them to to involve them. You know what I mean? And so I was like, hurry up, take off, hurry up and get me to my house. You know what I mean? And so she's driving, but she's paranoid. She's scared. And all of a sudden, they start ramming the back of the car. Now we're in like a little Toyota hatchback, like an older model Toyota hatchback, little white one. The owner of the car was sitting in the back seat with the girl that I was seeing. The owner of the car eventually had a son with, but that's a couple years later. But so they're in the back seat. I think it's because we were drinking and she didn't want to drive, so she had the other friend of ours driving, but she was all paranoid. She was scared, and they started ramming the fucking car with this big ass Blazer. And so the girl who owned the car, she was like, "Oh my god, they're fucking up my car! Like, fucking, you have to do something, you have to do something." And so I was telling the girl, her fucking put your foot in the fucking gas and go. You know what I mean? I didn't want to tell the other girl I had a gun because I didn't want her getting pissed off. You know what I mean? So, but they hit the car again. They rammed it again. So she's like, "Fuck, they're fucking up my car." And I say, "Hey, check it out, man. I got a gun on me." And she's like, "You do what?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Well, fuck it. Do what you gotta do." So I said, "All right." I lifted my shirt, pulled the box out, opened it up, and cocked it. I slid the slide back, and I rolled down the window, and I sat on the door of the car. And they're fucking coming up again, trying to hit us, and I'm like looking at them, and I'm firing at them. I'm firing at them, firing at the fucking truck, hitting the windshield, trying to hit the radiator area. You know what I mean? Um, I was trying to shoot the driver, but I mean, this chick swerving and shit all over the fucking place. But I'm firing the motherfucker too fast. And I got me like 6 rounds off, and boom, it jams up on me. So I get back in the car, and she's driving down these side streets now. And I have the gun. I'm fucking with it, but it's locked up on me and shit. I'm just holding it. Fuck, man. And so they start ramming the car again, and so we end up back onto the main street, back up on the main street. And like I said, it's 4 o'clock. There's a lot of traffic, and they're still coming, fucking ramming the car. So I told that girl, I said, jump up on the fucking curb. That truck is too big for them. They can't make it on the sidewalk. Get up on the fucking sidewalk and take off. So she does. She jumps up on the fucking sidewalk, and we're driving on the sidewalk, and they got stuck in the traffic. They got stuck at the light right there on Grand Avenue and Inglewood Avenue. They got stuck right there by the cemetery. And so we made a right onto Inglewood Avenue. But when she hit the fucking I don't know if that was the reason why, but I have the gun in my hand. It's in my hand. I have it pointed down, and I'm like, I was fucking with it, but it wouldn't come unjammed. The bullet was stuck in there. And then all of a sudden, as soon as we got onto Inglewood Avenue, I hear the gun go off, and I can feel the air, the percussion on my leg, by my knee. I can feel it. I don't feel any pain. I just feel like a burst of air. Boom. And the girl that owned the car in the back seat, she was like, "Oh my god, what the fuck? Did you just shoot a hole in my car?" And I'm like looking all over, like, because I don't see nothing. I'm looking all over. I'm looking at the floor, like I don't see nothing on the side. I said, "Nah, I don't know. I don't think so." I said, let's just keep going. You know, so we're going like we're going down England Avenue, and I tell him like, we're going down England Avenue, and I start feeling warmth in my shoe. My foot started feeling really warm. So I looked down and I lifted my pant leg, and I could see blood running down my leg. What happened? The gun unjammed, and it popped into the barrel, and it went off. Boom! It hit me right in the fucking side by here by my knee, just below my knee, in my calf area, or above my calf, below my knee, and so my fucking shoe was filling up with blood. So it was a 22 hollow point. So I told her, I said, make a left right here on I think it was what's that street? 182nd. I think it's 182nd. I said, make a left right here on 182nd. My uncle lived right down the street right there. So, and I told her how to get to my uncle's house, and we get to my uncle's house. I pull into the driveway, and I get out, and I hop over to the door, and I'm just leaking blood out of my fucking leg, off my leg. And I go to the door, and I knock, and he opens the door, and he's like, "Hey, Mio, how you doing? What are you doing here?" And I passed him the gun. I said, "Here, hold this for me. I gotta go to the hospital, but I'll be back for it. Don't get rid of it. And whatever you do, don't call my dad. Don't tell him shit, because this is my dad's older brother. Don't tell my dad shit." So I hop my ass back in the car, and I tell the girls, "No, take me to the hospital." So we get to the hospital, and I tell them, just pull up in front of the emergency and let me out and get the fuck out of here. Don't stay here. I said, because the cops are going to fucking probably come over here. Once I go in there and they see I have a gunshot wound, they're going to call the cops. So don't fucking stay here. So we get to the emergency, right there at the emergency. I jump out of the car and I fucking hop my way in there. And again, I'm still leaking and shit. And I go to the counter and I tell the lady I've been shot. And she looks and she sees the blood on the floor. So they call some people from the back and they come rushing down and they put me on a fucking bed and take me to the back. They put me in a room, and I want to say, fuck, like half hour, fucking cops show up. And start questioning me, like, hey, what happened? Okay, so this didn't happen in that city. I was in the hospital in Torrance. This shit happened over in Redondo. So this is the Torrance PD that came over there. So they're like, what's going on? What happened to you? And I said, some black dude shot me. And he's like, well, where were you at? And why they shoot you? And I said, I was on fucking Prairie. I was on Prairie, and I was walking down Prairie, and these fucking these Crips pull up on me, and they let off on me. So okay, what kind of car were they in? I don't know what kind of car it was. And I said, it just happened too fast. I don't know. I just know it was black dude. That's it. At the time, we were beef with the black, so it was just easier to say it was the black dude. I'm not gonna say nothing else. You know what I mean? It's just like it was a black dude shot me. So they knew, the cops knew what was going on with with us and the blacks in the area. You know what I mean? So it was a believable story that, you know, 'cause we were beefing with each other. All the neighborhoods out there, you know, as far as the Crips and the Bloods, we were beefing with all of them. So they like, can you give a description of? I said, I can't. They were across the boulevard. I couldn't see them. I just knew they were black. That's it. I can't see nothing. You know, I don't know what kind of car it was. Just some black dudes. I see him. So they were like, all right, like this, there's nothing they can do, because there's no witnesses, nobody. I can't describe nobody. You know what I mean? It was just a made up fucking story. You know. So I want to say about an hour later, my dad comes in there. And I'm like, fuck, man. Like, my dad walks into the room, and I'm like, He's like, what the fuck is going on? What are you doing? And I'm just like, your people come after me. You know what I mean? What do you want me to do? You know what I mean? It's like, man, fucking hearing that you're out there in the fucking broadly, like on the main street, fucking shooting at people and shit. What the fuck's going on? You know what I mean? I'm just like, hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean? What do you want me to do? So he's like, well, that thing that you left over there at your Theo's house, it's gone. It's gone. You got rid of that shit. I said, fuck, why? It was brand new too. I was like, why? Why the fuck did you go? But you got rid of it. Don't worry about it. The fuck, man. Just don't worry about it. Like, whatever. So that was that. You know what I mean? That I was in the hospital just for that day. Next day I came home. The bullet was in my muscle. They never took it out. It's still in there. They said there's no reason for them to take the fuck could do surgery and open it up because it's in the muscle. It's not gonna affect nothing. So it's still in there. And so I was supposed to be staying at home for a couple weeks. I wasn't supposed to be walking around. You know, I was supposed to be on crutches. I was like, fuck that. I got picked up the next day and went down to like Save-Ons or Thrifties, wherever it was, and I bought a fucking wooden cane and hit the streets. Went back out to the neighborhood. And so, okay, that's the next night. I'm back in my neighborhood at the park. It's like 10 o'clock at night. I got two of my homeboys with me and those three chicks that were with me the night that this shit happened. So we're right there at the park. Nobody else is there. We're just standing out. The car's parked on the street. We're standing like on the grass area, probably about 15, 20 feet away from the car. We're just standing there talking. Where the park's at, there's a street that ends at the park. I want to say it's 150. I want to say 151st or 152nd Street that ends at the park. And on that street, I had homeboys that lived on that street. I had a homeboy that lived there, and his brother was from 18th Street, and then I had another homeboy that lived up the street a little bit. So there was always people right there in that area. The street was kind of quiet that night, so we were just. I didn't realize that there was a lot of homeboys on that block at a couple of the houses over there. I didn't know they were there. We didn't know they were there. You know, we just went to the park. We were just hanging out there, drinking. And coming off a Marine a car, like I think it was an Oldsmobile Cutlass, comes off a Marine. It came from Inglewood Avenue onto Marine, and then from Marine it made it right there onto Pomona Street where the park's at. So it pulls right in front of the car that we were in. So they're facing each other, but we're standing off to the side. The car pulls up, and I'm looking at them like, well, who the fuck is this? There's four guys. I can see four guys in the car. Three of them get out, not the driver. The driver stayed in the car. The three other guys get out, and right away I recognize them. Two of the guys were from the night before. So one guy, he gets out, he doesn't have nothing. He just gets out of his car. The other guy gets out, he had a big ass fucking knife, and the other one had the club for the steering wheel, the part with the key hole on it. He had that fucking thing with has a little handle grip on it. He had that. He gets out with that. The other guy gets out with a knife. The other guy gets out with nothing. And they get out, and I see that big ass knife, and I was like, fuck, we don't have nothing. I don't have nothing on me. I had a screwdriver that was sharpened to a point, a big screwdriver about this long, in the car under the passenger seat, but I forgot that it was there. So when I see that big ass knife, I turn. I was like, fuck, I gotta fucking get the fuck out of here. This motherfucker just stick me. Because two of the guys came rushing toward me. The one with the knife and the one with the club. The other guy, he rushed one of my homeboys, and him and my homeboy started fighting. The dude, I turned around to run, but I couldn't. My leg was fucked up. So I just turned around and I had the fucking cane. And I mean, I ain't Jackie Chan or nothing. I just got lucky. The dude with the knife came and he swung at me and he cut me in the back of the arm here. He swung, he hit me in the back of the arm a little bit, and I hit him with the fucking cane. And I caught him. I caught him good where he fucking dropped. Then the other guy came and he hit me on the back of the arm. I put my arm up because he tried to hit me in the fucking face with the club. And he fucking swung that club and he caught me right in the back of my arm. No, on this side. He caught me in the back of the arm on this side. He caught me, he hit me so hard that he knocked my muscle out of place. The next day I had a circle right there because he hit me with the part where the keyhole is at. I had the perfect circle with a keyhole right there. Like a little, you can see the hole for the key. He hit me so hard with that fucking thing. Knocked my muscle out of place. He hit me and I swung the cane at him and I caught him and he fucking dropped. Then my other homeboy comes and he starts fucking fighting with the dude that had the knife. I don't know what happened to the knife. I don't know if he dropped it or what, but them two dudes were getting their asses kicked. So they jumped up. All of them jumped up, and they ran toward the fucking car. Well, the one that I had hit that had the club, when I hit him, he fell. He jumped up and tried to run, but he was like fucking dazed, and he was stumbling. He was like really wobbling. He wasn't running. He was trying to run, but he just kept slipping and trying to get back up and wobbling and shit. So then one of my other homeboys had whistled, and then all of a sudden you see all these guys coming out from the two houses down the street. They're coming out. And they're standing in the street and they're looking down the street like, what the fuck is going on over there? And they realized what was happening. So they all start to fucking come down the street. There's probably like 7, 8 guys. These guys that jumped in the car, they realized that they see all these guys coming from down the street. They fucking jumped in the car, but the other dude, he was stumbling. He couldn't he couldn't he couldn't get to the car. So they backed the fuck up and they took off and they left him there. And so, sorry about that. Fucking neighbors making noise. But anyway, so yeah, they left the dude. I don't know if they circled the block. I don't know if they went down to the corner. I don't know where the fuck they went, but they weren't there. They left him there. And so he stumbled up the street to where everybody was coming from. So I'm looking up the street and I can see one of my homeboys has him on the middle of the street and he's hitting him with that fucking club. He took the club, he picked up the club and he was hitting him with it in his fucking face and his head in the middle of the street. And so my leg was fucking hurting. So I told the girl, drive me over there. So I get in the passenger seat and she drives me to where they're at and she pulls right in front of where he's at in the middle of the street and I get out and I have the cane and now there's a bunch of guys around him. There's a bunch of guys around him. And I tell him, get the fuck off of him. Get off of him. Because they're stomping him out. The other dude's hitting him with the fucking club. And I'm like, get off of him. So they get off of him. He wasn't there the day before. I didn't know this guy. He wasn't there the day before when the whole shooting thing happened. So they kind of like spread out and get off him. And I'm standing over him and I'm looking. He's leaking. Like the dude busted his teeth out of his fucking mouth. He hit him in the face with that club and busted his shit out of his mouth. His teeth were fucking missing. He's laying there. He's leaking. He's bleeding all over. And I'm standing over him. And I said, you came over here looking for me, and now you fucking found me. And now look what's happening to you. You should never came over here. And now I'm gonna fucking kill you. And so I got the club and I started beating him with it. I mean, not the club, the cane. I'm beating him with it. I'm hitting him on his head over and over. The fucking hook part broke off. And it was a thick ass fucking cane. It was made out of good wood. So the hook part broke off. So I'm still hitting it with a stick. Bam, bam. It broke again. So I have a stick probably about this long, and I'm still fucking hitting him. I'm beating it with this fucking thing. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm right there. I'm like, I'm gonna kill this fucking guy. You know what I mean? That was what was on my mind. I was gonna beat him to fucking death right there. So everybody's just standing around watching, and then you can hear sirens. So they're like, "Fuck, let's go. Let's get the fuck out of here. The fucking cops are coming." So I dropped that piece of the cane, and I hop back into the car. Everybody just takes off scattered. There's nobody out there no more. I hop into the passenger seat, and as soon as I hopped in, I see the fucking handle of that screwdriver. So I reach down, I grab it, and I pull it out, and I go to get out of the car. And the girl that's driving is like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And my homeboy's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm gonna fucking kill this motherfucker." You know what I mean? I'm gonna stab him. They're like, "Get the fuck in the car. The fucking cops are coming. We gotta get the fuck out of here." So I just split second. I thought like, "Fuck." I got back in. We fucking ran around him, took off, and left him there. He left him laying in the middle of the street. What ended up happening is he crawled over to a doorstep, and he was knocking on the door. He was laying on the door, knocking, pounding on the bottom of the door. That was my homeboy's house. His brother was from 18th Street, and his brother opened the door, and he looks down. He's laying there on the fucking on the porch, and he's telling him, help me. Can you call the ambulance? Help me, help me." And the dude fucking kicks him in the face and tells him, "Get the fuck off my fucking porch." And there was a black dude that lived on the fucking street that came out there and saw him out there and patted his pockets and shit. This is what I was told afterwards. That the black dude went out there and patted his pockets and shit, trying to see if he had anything to steal from him real quick. They ended up picking him up. Ambulance came, cops, everything like that came. He didn't die, you know what I mean? I think it was like maybe I don't know, 3 weeks later or some shit like that. See, my brother's from his neighborhood, so my brother's like, "Hey man, I saw so and so, man. He's got out of the hospital." He's like, "He's all fucked up. Like this motherfucker had staples all over his head. He's just teeth missing. He's all fucked up, man." He's like, he told my brother he ain't banging no more. That was it. He's done. He ain't banging no more. And my brother's like, you guys fucking with bad. I ain't got nothing to do with that shit, man. You know what I mean? I ain't do nothing to that dude, you know? And he's like, he said it was you. He said it was you that did it. And I said, I ain't do nothing to that fucking dude, man. You know? So I know from what I had heard afterwards is that his homeboys, that whole neighborhood was fucking pissed off. They were pissed off that them dudes had left him behind. You know what I mean? You went down there, you come down to the neighborhood, you're looking for the fucking problem, you found the fucking problem, but yet you leave your homeboy behind. And he gets worked. He gets worked. You know, he almost got killed out there. You know what I mean? And luckily he didn't. I don't know from what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not. From what I heard, he moved away. Like right after that, he fucking moved out of their neighborhood. He's like, "I'm done." You know what I mean? I guess I would probably too if my homeboys left me like that. You know what I mean? To get stomped out like that and almost die, I would be like, "Fuck you, man." You know what I mean? Like you just left me here. And so, I caught a little bit of heat on that one too. You know what I mean? Shit was getting bad at the time, man. Shit was just kept on going on, going on, going on. Maybe a month or so after that, I came back down. I went up to Fresno for a little while, came back down, and I went to my friend's house that I used to stay at right there in my neighborhood. Whenever I came down, I would stay there a day or so, a day or two, whatever. I sleep in the back room. So I came down and I was real close with his mother. His mother was real good to me, man. She was a real good person, and she looked out for me. She was my mother's age, you know what I mean? She knew my mother and everything, and so she knew how, I was living fucking foul, you know what I mean? And so she would let me stay there at the house in the back room. It was like a den area that had a bed back there. So I came down and I stopped at the house, to see if she would let me stay there for a couple days, and she's, she welcomed me into the house and everything, and she's like, "Say, hey, I'm down for a couple days. Is it cool if I stay here, for a couple days, and then I'll take off and I'll go stay somewhere else, just give me a couple days." And she's like, "You can't stay here no more." And I was like, "Why not? What happened?" And she's like, "A few days ago or like a week ago, whatever." She goes, "Some dudes, like four guys, came here, knocking on the door." And she goes, "They were older guys, all tatted up and shit, like prison motherfuckers, They came here and they were looking for you. They asked you for by your name, you know what I mean, like your real name. They said they were looking for you. They're like, we're looking for Mike Cruz. Is he here?" She's like, "He doesn't live here. He stays here every once in a while, but he doesn't live here." And they were like, "When was the last time you saw him?" They were questioning her, like, "When's the last time you saw him?" And she's like, "I haven't seen him in a while." So, all right. She goes, and then they parked down the street. They were in the car waiting down the street, just, I guess, to see if he would show up over here. But that had happened like a week before. So she's like, I can't risk that shit, man. You know what I mean? I don't know who them guys were, too, but I have my kids here and everything. I said, no, I understand. It's okay. I understand. I don't want to put you into no. I don't want to get you in no issue. I don't know who the fuck that is. Uh, but it's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't. I'm not upset. It's okay. And so I left, and I went to my aunt's house, who lived in Redondo, and I went to her house, and she always let me stay there. My tia Lucy would always let me stay at her house, and so I was over there. And then the next day, I had taken off, and I came back, and then the following day in the morning, probably like 9, 10 in the morning. Because like I said in other videos, I would stay at my family's house, but I never wanted to overstay my welcome. I would stay a day or two, and I'm gone. I'd go find another place to stay for a couple days. I'd sell some dope, go back to Fresno, come back again a few weeks later. I was just doing that shit back and forth for like two years or some shit like that. So I came back the next day, and I come in the house, and my tia says, "Hey, so and so's here." Okay, and I'm like, "Oh, no shit." He got out, and she's like, "Yeah, he got out. He's here." I said, "Where's he at?" She goes, "He's in the garage. He came over here to see you." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So I go out to the backyard into the garage, and he's in there. He's in there on the bench press. He's benching. You know what I mean? I come in. I say, "Hey, what's going on, man?" And he, puts his shit up. He gets up. He's like, "Hey, Mio, how you doing? Like, how's everything going?" He comes give me a hug and shit. And I said, "What's going on? How you came by to see me or what?" He's like, "Yeah, I heard that you're out here. You know what I mean? I heard you're out. So I just got out." He goes, I came by to see you." I said, "Okay, like cool. You know what I mean?" I hadn't seen the dude in years. He'd been locked up for years. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, "So how's everything going out here? Everything good with you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, everything's good. When'd you get out?" And he's telling me he just barely got out like a few days before, or whatever. So we're like shooting the shit. And then he says, "Well, the reason I'm here to see you," and everything changed. Like the attitude changed. It wasn't no more like hugs and kisses and shit. You know what I mean? His whole demeanor had changed. He's like, "The reason I'm here to see you, man." He goes, "You know what's going on in the streets right now, right? No more fucking around. You know what's going on, right?" And I said, "Yeah, I know what's going on." He goes, "Okay." I just got out, but I've been hearing your fucking name. I've been hearing your name that you're still out here fucking doing all kinds of shit out here. And he goes, so you say you know what the fuck is going on, but yet you're still out here fucking doing all this other shit. You know what I mean? So I need to find out what the fuck is going on because your name keeps fucking coming up in conversation. So that's why I'm here. I need to find out what the fuck is going on. And I say, check it out, man. I don't fuck with nobody. But if people are fucking with me, what do you want me to do? You want me to just let them fucking fuck with me? I'm gonna do what I gotta do. If people would just leave me the fuck alone, then I would leave it alone. But that's not what's happening. So I'm doing what I gotta do, you know? And he's like, okay. He go, well, check it out. That shit ends today. That's it. Ends right here, right now. I don't want to hear your fucking name come up no more. I'm gonna go talk to these dudes as soon as I'm done here, and I'm gonna let them know this is it. It's over with. You guys know the fucking rule, and that's it. If anybody does anything else from this point on, you're gonna fucking answer for it. That's it. I'm good. I'm good. He's like, you're good. It's over with. Everything's done. It's it. I'm good. Like that's fine. If you can straighten that out, then I'm okay. I'm good. You know what I mean? All right. Then don't worry about nothing no more. Nobody's gonna do nothing to you no more. Nobody's gonna fuck with you no more. Just as long as you ain't doing shit yourself. I said I'm not gonna do no. I'm done. Okay. So then, okay, then it goes back to the way it was. When I first walked in there. Talking and shit like that. But now I feel uncomfortable with the whole situation being in there. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is going on? So I kind of cut the shit short. I said, I got some shit to do. I got to go take off, and boom, I take off. But I take my shit with me. I take my bags with me, and I'm like, that's it. I gotta get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? It's getting too fucking hot now. You know what I mean? And if these people continue fucking with me, I'm gonna continue to do what I do, and then it's gonna be all bad for me and them. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, you know what? I gotta get the fuck out of here and just stay the fuck out of here for a while. So, I made a little bit of money, jumped my ass back on the fucking Greyhound, back up to fucking Fresno I went, and I stayed gone for a while, But yeah, that's the story of the when that shit happened. I don't know. It's like I said, some people will might be upset. You know what I mean, or be offended by the whole thing. But you know what? That's what really happened. For people that weren't, you know, from my neighborhood, that were from that neighborhood, they probably heard a whole different fucking story. They were probably told some whole different shit. But that's exactly what had happened. You know what I mean? They came there looking for me. They found me. They left their fucking homeboy behind, and he got worked. And luckily for him, he didn't die. Maybe it saved his fucking life. You know what I mean? Because like I said, my brother had told me that dude said, "I'm not doing it no more. I'm done. I'm not banging no more. I'm fucking out of here." And so maybe that should save his life. You know what I mean? Maybe hopefully he's doing good. I mean, I didn't even know the fucking guy. He's one of their homeboys that I did not know. He wasn't related to me at all. But hopefully maybe it saved his life. Maybe maybe he has a good life. Maybe he's doing really good now. And I mean, he moved away. I don't know what the fuck happened to the guy. You know what I mean? All I know is he didn't die from that shit. He ended up leaving town, from what I understand. And I know there's still people out there that still, because that one issue right there, that they still have an issue with me over that. You know what I mean? But that's the way it happened. Whatever stories that they told, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't think my brother even told me what they were saying over there, but that's exactly what had happened. There's no reason for me to bullshit and lie and make up a fucking story about what happened. That's exactly what had happened. But like I said, hopefully that dude, he's doing good in his life, and has a family or whatever. But that's the story of that, and that's when shit started coming to an end for me. When I said, you know what, man, I gotta fucking skedaddle and get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Because it was just too much was going on. I was still on fucking parole. You know what I mean? I still was on parole for like another 2.5 years, maybe close to 3 years. I still had to do on parole. You know what I mean? So most of these stories I'm telling you, a lot of that shit was happening when I was on fucking parole, and getting caught up by the cops and shit like that, and getting away with things. I was very fucking lucky to never got caught doing anything. I like to think that I was being a better criminal, but I think a lot of it was also luck. You know what I mean? And also, a lot of the cops didn't really want to do their fucking job. They didn't give a fuck that we were out there killing each other. It didn't matter to them. It was one less gangbanger they had to deal with. You know what I mean? So I think that that's part of it also. But anyway, that's my story for the day. Please like, share, and subscribe to the videos. I need 115 more followers to hit that 1,000. So, you know, please please like, share, and subscribe to the videos. And I'll be talking to you guys later.